Hello class, welcome to your next set of notes. Today we're going to be talking about frequency tables and histograms. So frequency tables are a table like you see below. So it is a table that shows how often a value in a set of data occurs. So here are two different examples of frequency tables. You can have them with tally marks as you see, or you can have them just with numbers. If you have them with tally marks, you have to have them with numbers still. So you have to have this full thing. This is the minimum of what you need. You don't have to have tally marks, but tally marks can sometimes make it easier. And I will do an example down below, and we'll do another example. Because this is telling you that blue, there are 7 tally marks, so the frequency it occurs is 7 times. Red, 8. Green, 5. Yellow, 3. It is how often that favorite color occurs. Or for instance, with favorite sport, football is 12, baseball is 15, soccer is 7, lacrosse is 10. It is how often that favorite sport occurs. So here's kind of a little practice with it. The way that we want to do this is Gavin surveyed his friends to find out that their favorite type of candy was. Make a frequency table with tally marks to organize the data he collected. Here is all of the data he collected, so instead of being listed out like it is, you put it into a frequency table because it's easily more able to be understood. It makes a lot more sense in a table than just written out like this. So the way that I do it is I see, okay, here's one chocolate, I mark off a chocolate, and I X it out. I always get rid of it. You can do all the chocolates first, so I could do chocolate, here's another chocolate, cross it out, put a tally, 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 cross it out, put a tally. So I could cross off all of the chocolates, and I could have my tallies. Or I could just go one at a time. So I could see, oh, here's a fruity, cross it out, put a tally by fruity. Here's another fruity, cross it out, put a tally by the fruity. Here's a sour, so I can put a tally by sour and cross off sour. I don't have to do it in a specific way. This is really just any way you want to tally it up. Tally it up. There is no right way, there is no wrong way, but make sure to cross them out as you're going. Otherwise, it's very easy to make a very simple mistake. So I'm going to do fruity, then I have a sour, then a fruity, then an other, a sour, a fruity, a sour, and an other. And then you have all of your tally marks done. Once you have all of your tally marks done, you count up the tally marks and you write the number under the word frequency. So there are 7. There is 5 fruity. There are 5 sour. There are 3 other. You then want to be able to answer questions. So I'm actually going to have you do these 3 questions for homework, so answer those 3 questions for me. It says, which candy is most popular? Write it down. Which candy is least popular? Write it down. How many friends did Gavin survey? Write it down. Forgot to mention this, please make sure you cut and glue out the frequency table notes and date it up at the top. That should be the first notes that we're going over. Once you're done with frequency table notes, we're going to do one more example, but we're going to wait till after I teach you histograms. So you guys on the next page can cut and glue your histogram notes, go on the back or the next page of your frequency table notes. So a histogram we get because of a frequency table. Without a frequency table, we cannot draw a histogram. So a histogram is a display that groups data into equal ranges, or another word for that is intervals. So here are how you create a histogram. There are 5 steps. Step 1 is to separate your data into equal intervals. You either are going to count by 5s, count by 10s, count by 2s, count by 20s, count by 30s, so forth and so on down the line. But you need to make sure you have a reasonable amount of data. Don't count by 10s just to get done quickly. You need to have at least 4 pieces of data in your histogram. So you got to have more than just 2 or 3, 4 or more. So 4 or more. So for instance, if we look down here, they did your intervals for you. So if we create a frequency table, we would have our interval on one side, and we would have the frequency on the other side. And then they gave us our step 1, which is our intervals are 40 to 49. Then the next one is 50 to 59. The next one is 60 to 69. 70 to 89. 80 to 89. Oops, that should be a 79. 80 to 89. And 90 to 99. Notice I am counting by the exact same thing each time. I am not changing it up. This is counting by 10s. 40 to 49 is counting by 10s, not by 9s. You need to make sure you are very consistent. If you're not consistent, you will automatically get it wrong because it is not equal, and your intervals have to be equal. So that is step 1, is coming up with the intervals. This one did it for you. Other ones you will have to do it on your own. So then step 2, once you've come up with your interval, is each category is a range of numbers, and they each should use the same interval. So that's kind of what we just talked about. They have to have the same interval. Have to. So then step 3 says you are going to label your y-axis with the number of occurrences. That is the 1 or the 0 through 7. That is your number of occurrences. So this right here is your y-axis. And then we're going to write number of occurrences. Y-axis, count by 1s, count by 2s. They must be equal. Do not make them unequal. They need to be nice, neat, and organized. Then you will label your x-axis with the intervals. So this is your x-axis, and you put your intervals here. So x-axis, intervals. They already did the intervals for you, but that is where they go when you have to create your own, because yes, you will have to make your own. So then step 5 is you will create a bar to represent total pieces of data in each interval. The bars must touch. If they do not touch, you will automatically get it wrong. Okay, so let's go through this example. We need to take these numbers and we need to put them in our frequency table. So I need to count the numbers that are from 40 to 49, crossing them out as I go. So here's 1, 2, 3. So I have 3. Then I'm going to do 50 to 59. Cross them out as you go. 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 again. Same thing with 60 to 69. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6. Then 70 to 79. 1, 2, and I have 2. 80 to 89. 1, 2, 3, 4. And last, 90 to 99. 1, 2, 3, 4. So once you have your frequency table and you took all of your numbers, put them in the frequency table just like so, then you can draw it into your histogram. You are going to need straight lines. So you need to use a piece of paper, a ruler, whatever will get you straight. I'm just going to use this piece of paper for straight lines. So I have 3 for 40 to 49. So I want to go up to the 3 line, and I'm going to draw a line, straight line going down between the 49 and the 50, all the way up to my 3. And I'm going to connect it to the edge, and I'm going to do a shade it in. Then I'm going to do the 50 to 59, which is also 3. So I don't have to go any higher, but I do need to draw my straight line going down between the 50 and 59 and 60, straight line between. And then remember, my bars must touch, so that means that there is absolutely 0 spacing between my bars, but I can still see this line that separates the 49 and the 50. I can still see the 2 separate bars. So now I need to go 60 to 69, so is 6. So I need to go up to the 6. So I need to make this line longer going up right there. I need to make a line from 6 down in between the 69 and the 70. I'm going to connect them at that 6 line, and I'm going to shade it in. Just like so. And I keep going in the same pattern. Notice there's no spacing. Now I have 2 is my next one. So between the 79 and the 80, I'm going to draw a line going down only from the 2. I'm going to connect it over, and I'm going to shade it in. Then I have 4, so I need to go up to the 4, and I need to go 4 in between the 89 and the 90, connect my dots, shade it in, and the last one is also 4, so I'm going to draw a straight line going down, connect them because it's the exact same height of 4, and shade it in. And then there is your histogram. It is very important that you stay consistent and it always looks like that, because if it is not looking like that, I have to mark it wrong. If you do not follow each of those steps, I unfortunately have to mark it wrong. Okay, we then have to be able to answer questions and interpret a histogram, just like we have to interpret line plots and frequency tables. So you need to answer the questions about the histogram that we drew above. So number 1 says how many students scored a 70% or higher. So you find 70%, so this is 70%, or higher means or higher. So I count. I have 1 student, 2 students. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there were 10 students who scored a 70% or higher. I then need to do how many students scored below or between a 40, which here's 40, and a 79%. So I count the number of students between 40 and 79. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I do not go to the 80 because it told me to stop at 79. So it is 14 students. So I'm going to have you answer the last three on your own for homework. So tell me, did more students score above an 80 or below an 80? So you write above or below. Then tell me, what do you think? Give me your opinion. Unfortunately, there is a right or a wrong answer, but we will discuss it. But I want to know, what do you think? Do you think this data is scattered, or do you think it is even? Tell me what you think, and we'll discuss it in class tomorrow. And then how many are in art class? This is art class. It unfortunately just did not say for some strange reason. So this is about art class. So how many are in the art class? How many total are in the art class? So answer those three questions for me. And then I'm going to give you one more example, so we're going to flip it over. So frequency tables and histograms. I want you to do one of your own. So I'm going to give you a list of numbers. So here's your list of numbers. 1, 7, 8, 14, 21, 23, 32, 19, 48, 46, 32, 18, 5, 6, 9, 10, 31, 41, 46. Draw me a frequency table, draw me a histogram for homework. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye.